Hello everyone, today we're gonna use PBR textures on Corona in 3D Studio Max. We have a door here and we're gonna assign our material on this doorknob. I have some textures here which I created by Substance Painter. As you can see, base color, diffuse, IOR, metallic, normal, and roughness. As you know, in regular PBR materials, you just need a base color, metallic, normal, and roughness. And we don't have height map in this case. Instead, you have two other textures named diffuse and IOR. And we're going to use these textures and three other textures for Corona legacy material. And we're going to use these four textures for Corona physical material. Okay, let me show you how to export these textures from the Substance Painter. You can see I created this material for this doorknob in Substance Painter. Fine, we should go here and export textures. And in this case, I deselected body and frame parts and I just choose the metal part. Here in output templates, we have Corona preset and just duplicate this one and rename it to Corona for metal. And in the next step, in the output maps part, check what we need and what is unnecessary. Diffuse, yes. Reflection should delete. Glassiness, yes. IOR, yes. Normal, yes too. Emissive and height, not needed. Then I should add base color and metallic. Then I add an RGB and a gray channel. Base color for RGB and metallic for gray. Fine. It's better to rename them. I get a copy from this one and change it to base color and the other metallic. Okay, we are done here. Get back to the setting and change the template to the Corona for metal. Then set the address and change the file type to PNG and 16 bits and 4K size is better. We can get export now. It looks like done. Let's check it. All right, it's done. Okay. Now we have 6 textures. Let's check with the textures that I showed you earlier. And now we can get back to Max. Fine, I start the render. Then we can see what happens here. And then open the material editor by pressing M button. To start, I add a Corona physical material and assign it to our multi-sub material. Let's add Corona Legacy material as for secondary test. Now we have both of them and then we can compare them. Firstly, it's better to rename them as, for example, 1 and 2. And this one is 2. Okay. Then I import the texture by holding click and drag and drop in the material editor and change the blur number to 0 because I want the most accurate result. Here you can see difference between higher numbers of blur amount. For example, 5 and 10. 0 is the best. And I should connect this one to BaseColor. Okay, fine. Let's talk about this. When you see sRGB in the name of the texture, it means you don't need to change the gamma amount. And if you want to import a texture that has raw word in its name, we should override gamma to 1.0 and then assign it to Metalness and change its name. Base color, and this is Metalness. And holding shift and drag to copy another one. After that, I want to import the normal map. It is raw texture, so I should leave the gamma option to override. The important part about the normal map is we should add a corona normal node between the normal texture and the bump input. If you have OpenGL normal, you should check this box to swap red and green colors. Here we have DirectX normal and leave that unchanged. I rename it to normal to bump and assign it to the base bump input. Okay, let's add another texture. Roughness is the last one. It should connect to the base rough input. And you can see our material is finished. To be more accurate, there is another option in Corner Physical Material, and it is the edge color. We can use it to change the color of the edges. For a better understanding, I add a color correction here and I change it to, for example, red color and assign it to the edge color. As you can see, there is a red highlight on the edges. It is white by default, but I prefer to assign the base color to it. And I think it looks better now. It depends on you whether leave it white or change it by any. Fine. Okay, let's add a dirt map on Corona when I load the Corona AO node and assign an occluded color and unoccluded color. But I want to add a color correction node between them. In the advanced setting, I change gamma to 0.7 and gain to 70. And I reduce the saturation amount to minus 30. And then assign it to base color to see what happens. And to control the amount of dirt, it's better to add color instead of textures first. I prefer to use the red color and then check the map. Then I can see the actual amount of dirt on the object. Let's adjust it. Then we check the occlude color after we finish. Now the physical material is done. So let's adjust the Corona Legacy material. I start with the normal map and assign it to the bomb. After that, I should connect the roughness map, but there is no roughness input in Corona Legacy material, so I should invert it by the color correction node. Okay, still we cannot see any sensible change in our render. Now I want to add IO texture, and as you see, this is raw texture, but at this time I want to import it with automatic gamma, and get a copy and change the gamma to override to compare them. Now I should assign it to Fresnel IOR, and nothing happened. To better understand, I add another Corona Legacy material and assign it. And I change diffuse color to black and the reflection amount to 1.0 and change the Fresnel IOR to 99 to have a metallic effect on our object. The reflection glassiness amount doesn't matter. IOR and base color are matter here. Okay, let's get back to our earlier material and do the same. I changed the diffuse color to black and the reflection to 1.0, same as before. And there's no need to change IR because I have texture for it. And I want to show you the difference between these two textures. Obviously, the IR with automatic gamma amount is shinier than other. About Corona Legacy material, in this case, we can change the appearance of material just by changing the color of the reflection, like gold or copper. So I can use the base color not as diffuse, but as the reflection color. And now here we have a better result. What about diffuse? Shall I leave it black? It cannot be brighter color, also it cannot be a solid color. Fine, I had a diffuse texture before and time to use it. Let's check it. As you can see, there are some black parts on the map and they will help us to keep the metallic appearance. I add it to the material editor window, change the blue number, and check the gamma. Now I just need to assign it to diffuse and get a better result. Okay, now we have two same materials in different ways. And let's compare the IR texture that has override gamma. But I rather to use raw IR instead of IR with automatic gamma. Okay, I want to add our AO node, which I add for physical material. Then I duplicate it and use diffuse map instead of our base color. Before I assign it as a diffuse color, I want to show you the effect of our base color on reflect color. And I think it's not enough good. Then I undo that and use diffuse AO as a diffuse color. As you can see, when I uncheck the map, it's okay. And I want to use both of them for our AO because it has a little bit on our reflection. By the way, it depends on you to use each of them. And I think we're done here. And thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any idea or any suggestion, please leave a comment.